Hey guys, welcome to Everyday Jewish Mom. Passover is coming up, which means it's time to have a Seder. If you are hosting your first one or if you are an expert at this, I just wanted to share with you my tips of how to do it as stress-free as possible. So my husband and I love having people over, and we've attended many Passover Seders over the years. And if you have attended other people's Passover Seders, you know that gosh, it's so hard to get something that just feels right. Either their seders are too long or too short, or there's too many people or not enough people, or, so many things that make it not exactly right. And for me, I love this holiday and I want to be with people who love it too. And so it was just natural that we started hosting our own. There are a couple of things that I keep in mind, of course, when I'm planning these things. And the first one is that I don't want it to be an awful experience for me. And I think that when hosting a big deal, it can be very stressful. It's like Thanksgiving and a service all together, and there's a lot of details. And then I want to be able to invite as many people as I can. I would hate to think that someone that I love or am friends with doesn't have a place to go for Seder. And so I want to make sure that I can add as many chairs to the table as possible, but then again, not making it awful for myself. So let me walk you through how I go about planning this thing. The first way that I make things easy on myself is I make a ton of lists. I, of course, come up with a menu. For this, I absolutely ask people to bring things. Sometimes it's easier to assign things to people, or you can ask if there's something that they have every Passover that's just so precious to them, then by all means, please bring it to our Seder. That's going to make it feel more homey to them, and it's going to enhance our tradition. When you're making your menu for Passover, remember that you're going to be serving this meal an hour or two after everyone arrives, because first you have to do your whole Seder. So that means that it needs to be food that can stay warm well or reheat quickly. For me, I have a warming setting on my oven, and so last year I was able to load everything in there on that warming setting, and it was all the perfect temperature when it was time to eat. I then make a grocery list. My grocery list includes everything that I will need for the recipes that I'm making. Also, you need to remember that you need the things for your Seder plate. You will need to remember to buy horseradish and a shank bone. If you go to the butcher at your grocery store, most likely they are prepared for you and they will have shank bones around ready to go. Next, I make a prep list of all of the foods that I can make ahead of time for the Seder. It's often little things like washing the parsley can be done really as soon as you get home from the grocery store. And then that's one thing that you don't have to do later. There is a list that only comes up during Passover, and that is my table list. The table needs to be set with all sorts of different specified things, right? You don't want to forget Elijah's cup and the matzah and the salt water and all those extra things that you need for Passover. I have put my table list on my website, and so I will give you a link below for that. Feel free to print it out and mark it up and change it as you need. But that really takes the pressure off of me of trying to remember things in my head if I have a list. Now, the last thing that makes a Seder is a Haggadah. Growing up, we had a book Haggadah that we used every year, and we loved it, and I have a lot of fond memories of that. But because I have little kids, and because I will have lots of kids at my Seder, that one doesn't quite work for us anymore. And so I have started making my own Haggadah. I actually got mine from a family member, and then I've gone in and made all sorts of additions and subtractions from it, so it's just right for us. We used it last year and we really loved it. You guys, I hope that these tips helped you out and will help take some of the stress out of the day for you. I would love to hear your tips in the comments below. Please share them so that everyone can use them. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I put out videos all year round about doing Jewish things with your kids. You can also follow me on Facebook and Instagram and check out what else I've got going on.